Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never alone. And I have a really cool guest today. I'm pretty excited for you to meet him. Ryan Giebel is his name, and he has faced the challenges of schizoaffective disorder. Schizoaffective disorder. I said that right. Okay. with remarkable resilience and strength, by the way. Despite this condition, which combines symptoms of both schizophrenia and mood disorders, Ryan has shown absolutely incredible determination in managing that crazy condition. It is kind of it's a condition that I don't hear about a lot, that I don't think anybody hears about a lot. So we're gonna talk about it a little bit and get the word out. So Ryan continues to inspire others through the journey, advocating for mental health awareness, which is huge because that is something that is truly invisible. And I'm very excited that he's advocating for that and breaking the stigma around mental illnesses, which is also very important. So, all right, let's bring Ryan on so we can get this show on the road here. There he is. Ryan, thank you so much for being here, man. This is awesome.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. This is great. So I'm not gonna lie, schizoaffective disorder is kind of a mystery to me. I mean, I asked you about it when we first talked, a while ago, and schizophrenia, that's a term that I think some people would know what that is. Like, okay, I have a clue what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But schizoaffective disorder, that's a little bit of a mouthful. Can you just tell us kind of what that is?
Yes. So I don't know the complete knowledge of it, but there is a spectrum of disorders within schizophrenia.
Okay.
There was a lot of names associated with it. Like, you've heard of paranoid schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's commonly used now, but schizoaffective disorder is a classification or a segment of schizophrenia. So it's schizophrenia mixed with a mood disorder. So I struggled with psychosis early, age 19, and then when I was 21, I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, and I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder because I was suicidal and extremely manic depressive. So that classifies as a mood disorder.
Yeah.
Along with my psychosis, and that's kind of how my diagnosis was given to me. So
yeah, 19, man, yikes, that's young to
it's actually common. Like the common age for a male is 18 to 21 for psychosis to happen. So that's essentially what happened to me. So yeah,
I had no idea. Okay, all right, that's the common age. Okay, so you were in college when this happened, like just starting your sophomore year, like right somewhere around there, 19.
So I was in my second semester of my freshman year. So I only did 1 year college. My first semester was all right, and then I slowly slipped into psychosis my second semester up at school. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine probably leaving college was a good decision. I can't imagine handling. I mean, I didn't even handle college. There's a lot of people that can't handle that. I did not enjoy it. It was not my bag. I left after a couple of years. It was so yeah, it's a crazy stressful place to be sometimes. So I'm pretty yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised is what I'm saying. Like that is if there was something else going on that kind of tipped you in that direction, being in college would probably be like, okay, that's
psychosis is really stress induced. So that's like a well-known thing.
Yeah.
If you're extremely stressed, you're maybe more prone to a psychosis essentially. So not shocking. College is pretty stressful. So
yeah. It for sure. So I just want to throw this out there for anybody watching, or anybody in the audience out there going, what the heck is schizoaffective disorder? What is schizophrenia? I mean, what is all this about? If you have, if there's mental health can be a really, really touchy subject, really sensitive thing. So we're not going to ask questions like we normally do on the show, but if you want, I mean, we want you to engage though. Like if you have questions, please, you don't have to do specifics or anything, but if you want to talk to Ryan about it, or just somebody to relate to, you could even just put, DM me or something in the comments, and or you can email me invisiblecondition@e360tv.com. I'll put that on the screen here in a minute. And I can put you in touch with Ryan, and and then we can, because I don't want to make anybody like not comfortable, or so let's see, there it is. There's my email. If you want to talk to Ryan, or you have any questions of any sort of along the lines of anything we talk about today, please email me and just say, please put me in touch with Ryan. That's all you got to say, and I will do it. So I'll put that up there throughout the show, just so you don't miss it. So, all right. Now, you mentioned, I can't remember if it was in the conversation or in the written thing that we got, but about feeling like broken, after being released from the hospital, because you had to go to the hospital right after your freshman year.
Yeah, I can kind of tell you on how that led to the hospital.
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
So psychosis or schizophrenia, the two main symptoms of that are hallucinations and delusions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys don't know what hallucinations are, for me in my psychosis was auditory. So a lot of voices that aren't real. So it was kind of tricky. I'll say your brain has an amazing way of playing games on yourself. So to put it in perspective, if I saw an elderly woman there and I looked away from her, I would hear a voice that would sound just like her, but it would not be a voice. She would not say something. So, and typically it would not be a very nice thing. And that's what schizophrenia is. So a lot of auditory hallucinations, and then delusions. So if you don't know what delusions are, like delusions and psychosis is essentially believing something that is not true, but like it is like in your mind, concrete true. So some of my delusions were, I thought I was the right hand of God for a while. Very common with psychosis is you thought the TV or the radio was talking to you, sending you messages. So that happened quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's just there's a ton more that I can get into, and like a lot of terrible stories, but like that's I won't get into that. But anyway, I'll tell the kind of the story on why you touched on the broken part was. I'll kind of just tell my rock bottom deal.
Go for it.
Is the last hallucination. It was like a hallucination delusion combo, I would say.
Mhm.
Is I thought people could read my minds, which is also pretty common if you research it, like happening to people.
Mhm.
And that's terrifying. I don't even, it's just really scary. And so I was in a single stall bathroom, and what ended up happening was I was hearing some nasty things. It was locked, it's just a single stall. And just trying to paint a picture here for you guys to maybe try to think of what it was like.
Mhm.
So I was schizophrenia. The voices are really threatening, very mean, and that's common with the condition. And I was hearing voices through the wall that they were going to attack me if I left the wall, or once I leave the bathroom. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm just going to run. So like, that's just like, I'm safe in my own mind is what I'm thinking.
Sure.
And the delusion I was in at that point, people could read my mind. And then the voices could read that. And he said, oh, he's going to run. So like, it was incredible. It's just like, as a 19-year-old kid, incredibly traumatizing, really scary.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I told my parents, I opened up to them because I didn't really know what the extent of it. I said, people are reading my mind, and concerned parents brought me to a hospital.
Yeah.
Like, my son needs help. Is there something seriously wrong? They took me to just like a hospital. They ended up taking an ambulance to a psychiatric facility. And when I was staying in the hospital, they put me in a mental health hold. And one of those rooms is essentially there's a camera up in the corner. And for someone that's extremely paranoid, that's not really a good thing. So I spent I didn't sleep that night. I spent the majority of my night staring out the window and just like they're watching me through the camera. So I didn't sleep. Yeah. I was completely gone at that point.
Yeah.
And so I got to the hospital.
Sleep deprivation never hurts anything. And that never helps anything, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to the psychiatric facility, and I ended up laying down. I got into they kind of get you in a robe or like a gown, take your clothes and switch clothes. And I laid down and I woke up with a shake on my shoulder, and I turned around. It was two people, a man and a woman, and I didn't recognize them for probably 20, 30 seconds, and it ended up being my parents.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of my rock bottom, like what I mean by completely broken. Like, what I tell people, if I were to tell them, like, I knew what my name and my birthday, but like that's essentially all I really knew at one point. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, stress, I mean, anybody out there watching, or anybody out there that's been, I mean, everybody, especially nowadays in 2024, stress is real, man. Stress is a big deal. And if you don't address it, it can really wreak havoc on so many things. And so, and I know there's definitely different situations. Everybody's different, but yeah, stress is a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. So being diagnosed with schizophrenia and then later schizoaffective disorder, so that alone is probably overwhelming and stressful. Like, that couldn't have been, I mean, is that kind of like a circular thing then? Like, I mean, or was that kind of a relief to be like, oh, thank God, okay, that's what it is, okay, now we can move forward and we can do something about it?
So yeah, it was, I didn't really have that until the schizoaffective was diagnosed to me.
Okay.
It was from like 19 to 21, so a couple years. It was more managing the symptoms. And my diagnosis was just kind of first onset psychosis is what they called it. And it was just managing symptoms at that point. But yeah, it was definitely a relief to get a diagnosis, and then I could kind of look to see where I could go from there for sure.
Yeah, man, that's crazy to think. But you also talked about suicidal thoughts that kind of led to the hospitalization, or to another hospitalization. Was that a separate?
Yes, that was separate. Yep. So a second time I was hospitalized. Yep.
Okay. And that was so, but okay, suicidal though, like that talk about rock bottom. I mean, that's the place where, I mean, that's where people usually arrive before they start thinking about suicidal things. And so how did you claw your way out of that? You're still here.
Yeah. I'm a believer in God. That's a great reason why I think I'm still here. But I'll say how I got there was, I kind of explained the medication to you. I don't know if you remember that. I can explain that again.
A little. I remember a little bit of it, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was. So I was prescribed a medication that pretty much took the voices away. But with that medication, and it's very common with antipsychotics that they're just nasty side effects. Yeah. So I developed sleep apnea. I was like 20 years old with a CPAP. I went from 155 in high school to my highest was 270 weight gain due to the medication. So like the main goal was to get off that medication, but it was the only one that kept the voices away. So I would always tell myself I'd rather be 300 pounds than hear the voices because it's that bad. But it's always the goal to kind of just replace a medication, hopefully. So for a long time, at least 4 or 5 years, it was introduce a new medication, wean off the old one, and keep doing that. So it'd be introduce for a month, wean off the bad one for a month, and then I'd start hearing voices again. So I'd have to get on the old one. So I probably tried, I don't know, high teens worth of medications, which if you break it down is a couple of years. But why I relate to that is I thought I was going to be this way my entire life. And it was complete misery for a long time. And I think that mindset ultimately spiraled into suicidal thinking. And I relate to that because I've lived it, because my experience is it's like the seed was planted. Like I don't want to be alive. Like the seed was planted. And I'm going to get kind of at least a little personal here, but it is terrifying. I've never desired something so much in my life than to not be alive. And it's a very scary deal. And what ended up happening is I was at the Mall of America with my mom, and I'm from Minnesota. And
nice.
I was just looking over the third floor, and I turned to my mom. I said, I don't know why I said it, but I said, I need some help is what I need. And she knew from obviously my previous hospitalization, like not to mess around and like go get me help. And she did, and I got stabilized and put on a medication, and it's pretty much saved. And it's from me opening my mouth. I don't know how or why, but I did.
Well, I'm glad you did, man, because it sounds. By the way, your mom sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, she is.
She sounds pretty phenomenal. Is it both your parents that have been helpful through that? I mean, is it mom?
Yes,
mom and dad?
Mom and dad. I'm very blessed, man. I'm very lucky.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, first of all, not everybody has both parents around.
Exactly.
So just that alone is pretty awesome. And then for them to be so proactive, you said something and she's like, action, man. Let's get this figured out. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Well, I think I'm going to put my email up here one more time for just another few seconds. And then we're going to go to a break for just a couple of minutes, but on the other side of that break, please don't go anywhere. Stick around, because we're getting to the part of the story that you're going to want to be here for. So Ryan's going to share about kind of finding that combination of helpful tools that kind of set him on the path to where he is now, and just, in a good place, and so please don't go anywhere. Let's stick around for the rest of the story. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you here in just a couple of minutes.
Hey there. Every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Does your to-do list have you feeling stressed? Does your list include tasks like responding to email and phone calls, collecting forms and paperwork, and sending quotes and invoices? Have you been neglecting posting updates to your social media accounts, email newsletters, or content on your website? Maybe you need help to get digitally organized. I'm Selena, one of the owners at Office Mercenary, and we're a US-based virtual assistant agency. We can take care of all of these tasks and more so you can get back to focusing on the things you love about your business. Our team is happy to work with you and your individual needs. So schedule a call with us, bring your to-do list, and stop doing the tedious tasks.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Greg Russell. I'm the host of TechnologyTuesday.com. You can find us on the Conscious Business TV network every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the latest resources to help you make more money in your business. Join us on E360 TV. Come on.
Hey everybody! Before we bring Ryan back, I want to invite you to our community. It's called Invisible Condition University. That's right, ICU. The irony is not lost on us. Okay, we know it's intensive care unit, Invisible Condition University. We're trying to flip the script on that. Okay, we want ICU to be a term that doesn't send people running. And so, Invisible Condition University is something that I wish had been around about 10 years ago. Every time I had another brain surgery or another surgery related to that, my wife and family were mostly on their own without anybody to help them. The hospital was there to help during the surgery, but that was about it. That's why my wife and I created ICU. We wanted to provide a place where other people like us that have been through similar things like we have, to find a community that listens, that cares, that walks with you, no matter what you're going through. We meet on Zoom twice a month for an hour and provide a safe place for patients. Almost said parents. Sure, parents come too. Patients that are living with these kind of conditions and their caregivers to ask questions, vent frustrations, find information not provided by their medical providers, because they don't always have all the answers. And so, and neither do we, but we're going to find out together. So if you'd like to learn more or would like to receive a free 30-day membership to ICU, please just go to myfreegiftfromjeff.com, and that will lead you to a place to take advantage of that. And then we'll go from there. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you there, and let's bring Ryan back. Let's continue with the story, man. This is all right. So, tell you what, that is a lot, man. I like that. We could just call the show right there and be like, okay, Ryan's amazing. He's still here. I don't know how he got through there, but thank you to his parents, by the way. Thank you, Ryan's parents. We appreciate that. And so does he. So, so finding the right combination of medication sounds like took a while, but
Yes.
Between that and some of the other support that you got, like, how did you stay motivated through that time? That's a long time. It can seem like a lot when you're going through that. How'd you stay motivated to get through all that?
It's a really good question. I don't know.
Good answer.
Yeah, I don't know. just this inner, what happened to me was so terrible pre-hospital.
Yeah.
I was very motivated to get better. Whatever that looked like, I didn't know.
Mhm.
My psychiatrist told me that work is the best medicine.
Oh,
And that is true beyond belief. Like, I can't even describe it to you. And he was 100% correct. So, I don't know. It's tough to talk about myself highly, like, not, but like, I think it was just inner drive, man. Like, I
yeah.
really, wanted to beat this thing, and there's really the ironic thing, there really is no beating it. It'll be with me the rest of my life. Um, that's a really good question, man. I don't know. It's just,
I mean, it kind of goes back to the time in the mall with your mom. You know, it's like you had the determination to say, no, I still want to be here.
yeah,
And so you reached, instead of jumping off the third floor, you
yeah,
reached out to your mom and said, help, I need help, you
yeah.
know? And
Maybe,
so,
maybe that internal thing is something. Yeah, it's just like, I want to get better, and what does that look like? And my doctor told me work, and I don't know. I struggled. I couldn't hold a job for a long time, and it was tough.
I'm sure that doesn't help. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
that doesn't help. Work helps. Okay. Well, I just got laid off. Well, now what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now? Are you working like full time? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's good. That's a good thing, right?
I've had a full-time job probably for 5 years now, 6 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? I can relate, man. I can relate to that small piece of your story. I had I almost don't believe it when I say it out loud. Like, this first year or second year my wife and I were married, I had 13 W-2s that year. I skipped around a lot. I was working everywhere, and couldn't seem to hold on to anything. And so it really, I think as men, it messes with us more, honestly, because we know we're supposed to be working, and we know we're supposed to be providing an income. And even if you're single, it's like, what I got to be working. And so, so that's good. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you're, in a place where you're working and everything is at least on track there. So, so what kind of strategies and routines have you, like, obviously you've put some things in place with the help of, maybe your parents or, doctors or whatever. Like, what have you got in place now that's like, this is my deal now, to kind of keep yourself on track?
Another good question. I have a support, like, team, I guess, in place.
Nice.
What I do daily is I try to do stuff like this, very meaningful to me, do stuff with, like, mental health deals. I guess to take care of my mental health, I exercise, I walk a lot. I used to be really into running, weightlifting. I did a ton of that, and
Nice.
I took care of my physical health for a while and kind of toned back now, but physical health was, like, huge for me on gaining confidence, and just I couldn't recommend that highly enough. Just be careful with it. And it's just, physical health was a big one, and then mostly, like, spending time with people I care about was another big one.
Yeah. Well, I totally, that makes total sense. When you're working on your physical health, that's gotta be good. I mean, that's good all around. That's gotta be good for your mental health too. That's kind of pretty common knowledge, when you're working out and you can see the results and you're like, hey, I'm getting somewhere here. I'm dropping the weight. I'm gaining muscle. I'm doing, running. I don't understand the running thing. I don't run. That's not my thing, but, I don't run unless I'm being chased by something really big. But walking, I love walking. I'm not really a gym guy. Wherever you can fit it in, right? So,
I just did a 50K this October. So
5 50K?
Yeah, 50K. Yeah. So
How many miles is that?
that's just 31. So
Holy smokes. Did you run it or walk it or combination of both? Or what?
it was a trail run, and it was kind of like a hike run. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, me and a buddy did
31
it.
miles. Good Lord, man. Well, congratulations, man. That's probably more trail running than I'll do
Yeah.
in my life on this planet. So that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
I love hiking. It was fun.
That's awesome. Well, and there's some good places to do that in Minnesota. There's there's not a lot of mountains, but
No.
not compared to Colorado anyway. That's where I live. So anybody
Oh,
back
nice. Oh, no.
when people in Wisconsin and Minnesota talk about mountains, I kind of chuckle. But,
yeah. That's
but
crazy elevation out there.
yeah. But there's a lot of good places out there. You certainly get a workout because especially if you do it in the summertime, man, you're sweating like a dog. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So that's awesome. Well, so just to kind of throw this out there too, because I know there's people out there that are like, okay, mental health, schizophrenia, schizoaffective, all the things. There's myths and misconceptions everywhere for this kind of stuff. I mean, there's movies out there that paint crazy pictures of all kinds of these conditions that are so not accurate. What are some of the misconceptions that you have had to kind of fight through and overcome that people have had?
So the big one I really kind of want to touch on is people think you're inherently violent. Like, it's, I would say, a very long outlier that someone is violent.
Yeah.
With schizophrenia. Usually they're just very lost, don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. Can someone in psychosis be a threat? Yes. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but it is the chances of that happening statistically is very, very low.
I think the threat wouldn't necessarily, I mean, if they have a propensity for violence or something from some other area of life, that's one thing. But if they're in psychosis and they're having delusions or they're hearing voices or they're telling the voices are telling them to do something, that's where it can be violent or not. That can be scary. It's not the violence that's the scary part. It's the
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like unpredictability of what you're gonna hear and what you might do. So
yeah.
Yeah. Well, so if somebody's watching this, and this is you, I'm talking to you out there. If you're watching this, if somebody's watching this in the audience and facing a similar situation in mental health, or they're like, oh my gosh, Ryan's making so much sense right now, and we haven't gotten as far as he has. What would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
Someone that has the condition?
If they're struggling with similar symptoms that you are, and they think they might have the symptom or the condition, and they don't know, like they're new, like they've never experienced anything like this. What would you, if you were sitting eyeball to eyeball with them, what would you tell them?
It's a really good question. I would say, when I was in the hospital, I sat down at a table with about 6 doctors on each end of the table, and then my psychiatrist at the end. And they explained to me, asked me why I was here, and I had absolutely no clue, like where I was or what I was doing or who these people were. Yeah. And they explained to me, they said, I want you to picture your brain, and I want you to imagine it shattering into a bunch of pieces. And that's essentially what happened. Or picture your leg and it breaking into a bunch of pieces. And then they explained to me that's essentially what happened to your brain, and we're here to help put it back together.
Oh my gosh.
So analogies helped me out a ton. So that always stuck with me. So what I would tell someone is, it is going to take a long time for your brain to develop that scar tissue and heal. So you need to be very patient on how long it's going to take, depending on how bad it got and the severity of the psychosis.
Yeah.
They explained, my psychiatrist also explained to my parents that it was my brain had a massive heart attack is another analogy.
Oh, wow.
So recovering from that, unfortunately, takes a long time.
Yeah.
So kind of what I did was develop the mindset, how could I optimize my healing? So I'm sober 7 years. Like, I made a promise to myself that I would never ever do anything to poison my brain and like disrupt the healing. I made a promise to myself, and I still do to this day. And then I just Googled like how to like get a strong brain, and I went to exercise. I don't know. It's pretty much exercise and don't poison your brain is the biggest things I would recommend.
Well, it's self-advocacy, right? I mean, sounds like you did a lot of that for you. It was like, okay, I want to be healthy. And so I'm going to be sober, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And you had guidance along the way, but ultimately it was you that decided. So that speaks highly of you, and your determination of where you wanted to go, and that you didn't want to stay where you were. So, so well done on 7 years, man. That's no joke. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So how do you stay connected with others and build that support system outside your family? I mean, obviously parents, but how do you continue to do that?
Friends, I guess I have a couple friends. I have a very small circle. I'm a part of a public speaking club, I guess, is another
Nice.
form of, I kind of want to be like a public speaker or like a motivational speaker is kind of my goal.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, a small group of friends, I guess. And I don't know, I guess to answer your question. Yeah.
No, I love it. That's great. No, and by the way, if anybody's that's awesome. I can't believe you said that, man. You want to be a speaker? That's fantastic. I love that, because your story needs to get out there a lot, and so because that's going to bring hope to so many people. So I think if anybody is watching right now, email me about that too, because I know there's people out there that could be like, yeah, I want to help. Get Ryan in front of more people and get him, and I know it's probably the beginning stages of it, and you're like, don't put me on a stage yet. I got to figure this out first, but there's steps to go, but oh man, you got a story that needs to be heard. So yes, please, anybody that that could help Ryan spread his message even bigger, let me know, and then I'll put you in touch with him, because that's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna go to one more break, and then I want to talk about something on the other side of the break that you have been holding on to very well, and I think has served you well, and that's hope. And we're going to talk about that on the other side of the break, and so please don't go anywhere, anybody. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the show. Hope is a big deal, and we're going to talk about it on the other side of the break. So stick around. We'll see you soon.
Tired of losing cell service in dead zones? Concerned about connectivity in emergencies? There is now an answer. Introducing the Love Pod. The world's first affordable encrypted global internet Wi-Fi hotspot connects with multiple service carrier networks and is satellite assisted when no service carrier networks are available. So it works virtually anytime, anywhere. Connect up to 9 devices, like our cell phone, laptop, desktop, TV, security cam, and more. Stream, chat, text, download, and make phone calls, all with no roaming fees. With mesh capability, the Love Pods will grow in strength and speed with each new pod activated to create a private terrestrial-based intranet called Love Global Network. The Love Pods are dual blockchain encrypted with Love's proprietary 2048-bit cube chain encryption, giving you the ultimate protection in data privacy and security against digital attacks and hacks to your devices. You are no longer tracked, and your data is never sold. Get the Love Pod, your private, encrypted, portable global internet Wi-Fi hotspot and stay safe and stay connected.
In a world where office workers typically receive 130 daily emails and have an 8-second attention span, CoreCentrica, with her 4 decades of international marketing experience, has partnered with the Learning Code Institute and their 30 years of neuroscientific research. Together, we are crafting unique messaging strategies that resonate, connect, and ultimately convert our target audiences. CoreCentrica, where award-winning creativity and disruptive neuroscience come together. Scan this code now, or call and click, and let us show you how CoreCentrica's partnership with the Learning Code Institute is influencing how businesses connect with their audience, foster engagement, and achieve conversions.
Hi, Eva Baca-Kearns here, and I am the host of One Punch Superstars, where we meet real people who chose to fight for their hopes and their dreams and become the champions of their destiny. You can find us on Achieve TV every Tuesday and Wednesday at noon Mountain Standard Time, right here on E360 TV.
All right. Here we are, man. This is the last segment of the show. We're already here. This is like time flies when you're having fun, right? This is crazy. This has been a kind of a heavy subject, but I love talking about hope, because at the end of the day, that's what's gotten you through so far is hope of something. There's always hope for something. So I have a question that I ask everybody on the show, and I always love the answer. It's always different, and I love to ask it because I'm always fascinated by the answer. So on the days that aren't great, because everybody has them, how do you still maintain hope?
I think about what I want to do in the future, and that's help people that have what I have. Pretty much. I don't want to downplay, and I want to deal with my issues that I have, but
sure.
I spend a lot of time thinking about how lucky I am, and with my parents, and I guess just how much I'm a middle class family from the suburbs of Minneapolis. Like, I'm super lucky. And I just think of someone in my mind state that doesn't have anyone, and it's really disturbing to me. I feel like they need someone, and I feel like I could help them, and that's kind of what I guess motivates me, gives me hope. I honestly clean sewers for a living, but I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. Like, it's a good job. Like, I'm definitely proud of what I do, but that's what keeps me going, honestly, is the hope of helping people that need it, honestly.
Yeah. It's amazing. I think and you know what? I gotta write this down. I gotta write somebody's name down, actually. I want to connect you with, because there's I'll talk to you about it when we're done here, but there's a couple people that I want to point you in the direction of that might be able to help you do that more sooner than later. So I want to we'll chat for a few after we get done here and see if we can point you in the direction of getting that done quicker, because like you said, your message needs to get out there, and people need to hear your story. So for sure. And so with everything that you've accomplished and all the things that you like, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for 4 brain surgeries in the last 10 years. That's been my thing. The last 10 years have been a little crazy, but I honestly would not be here in this seat talking to you today with this show, with a lot of the stuff we're doing, if it hadn't been for those 4 surgeries. And so as it was rough, I'm thankful for it because it led me here.
Yeah.
So what is there anything, looking back at the challenges you've faced and conquered, is there anything of those challenges that you're thankful for?
I believe there's two sides to every coin.
Yep.
I don't know what hell's like, but I feel like I had a taste of what it was like. And I believe that the other side of that is helping people get out of that. So I mean, that there's a graphic painted on the wall of a facilities guy that I know. His name's Donnie. He's one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And in his office, he's got a picture of a person, in a pit, like kind of in the pit, like in the pit of hell. And he's reaching up like this, and there's a hand, kind of grabbing like that, pulling him out, and that's like, I love that visual because you can't get out on your own, man. You got to have help getting out of there. Yeah.
So
I tentatively say I don't really think anything's impossible, but man, you need help, man.
Well, you getting to where you are right now is pretty solid evidence that nothing's impossible, because most people in your situation, I mean, there's a lot of people that have been in your situation and it's turned out worse. So you've painted a pretty cool picture of what other people can do with the right help, and so is there anything, like, we got about I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes left. Are there like resources that you would, if somebody was in your situation, like we were asking, but like in the second segment, if somebody was sitting in front of you and like, I've tried this, nothing's worked, where can I go to get help? What would you point them towards?
Maybe it'd be a better thing of looking to get someone, maybe a family member help. Is that kind of like maybe what you're talking about? Or maybe in psychosis, or if
there's organizations that you find helpful, or anything like that.
NAMI, NAMI.
Okay.
That's an acronym for National Alliance on Mental Illness. So I volunteered with them, and last school year, and I went and spoke at a couple high schools throughout the Twin Cities area, shared my story with them. They have awesome resources. I'm pretty sure they have a chapter in every state, I want to say. Okay. I think they're the biggest national or mental health advocate company or nonprofit.
National Alliance for Mental Health. Is that what you said?
Mental illness, NAMI.
Mental illness, for mental illness. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. So that's there you go. There's a resource, man. I mean, when there's a story like yours out there and you have made it to the point that you have, I want everybody to know. I mean, if there's somebody else in your shoes, they're a couple steps behind you, let's get them help faster,
Another just like quick 2 cents. Early intervention, honestly, with anything, obviously is better. But with psychosis, it's like dire. So if someone is coming up to you saying that they are God or they are not speaking normal reality, please don't brush it off. If something's not right, you seriously need to get them help quick. That's my 2 cents, because with me, I was people don't know what's going on because it is relatively a rare condition.
Yeah.
So it went untreated for quite a while, and the longer it goes untreated, it gets worse. So, if something's not right, you should seriously go get up. If it's your friend, you need to get him help is otherwise he's going to go down a really dark road.
Yeah. I mean, if you're at that point, you've already been going down that dark road for a little bit. So yeah. reach out and pull them out of there as fast as you can. So I know you said you want to be a speaker, which I love. And is there any other ways that you're now using your experience to help others, and with the mental health awareness aspect of it? What are you doing now?
Yeah, I like I said, I volunteer with NAMI.
Mm-hmm.
They call it the Young Adult Program. So I'm with an older person, and I'm people 30 and younger, kind of just tell their mental health story. And I went to like a high school every month and just kind of talk to a handful of classrooms.
Nice.
I kind of want to start doing some stuff like this, kind of going on shows or podcasts and stuff like that. I'm definitely like new to it, but this is something I've been in that public speaking course for like 2 years, and I've been kind of getting comfortable with talking in front of groups of people. And
nice.
So like this is like something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I'm just kind of in the process of starting that. So
yeah, well, I mean, I know of other places you can go to get the word out. So I will definitely, I'll be thinking about that after we're done here too, and send you some additional resources there to see if you can get on some other shows and keep getting the word out, because the more the merrier. And if we can help you in any way to get out there more, I'm all for it. So
yeah.
So yeah, hang on to my email, and if you have questions or you want to, trying to figure out something, just I'm here to help in any way I can. So, because I think, this story needs to get out there. So, well, hey, is there any last thing you got? We got a couple minutes left. We're almost done. This is almost over. It went so fast. In the last like 60 seconds, what would you want to leave somebody with? As far as, I don't know, encouragement or any kind of closing remarks, statement.
Don't lose hope, because I did, and I was proven wrong. So, I got through it, and nothing's impossible. So it's kind of my 2 cents.
I love it. Don't lose hope. You were proven wrong. That's good. I like that. I'm glad you were, because it's hope is a powerful thing, man. I love that. So, all right. Hey, Ryan, I'm so glad that we got this lined up, and that we met, and that we were able to do this. And I so appreciate your time and your openness and just being able to tell your story, man. It's going to help so many people. I'm so glad we did this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, everybody. Man, I love those kind of stories. Okay. All right. That was really cool. So seriously, if any of you have any, anything that you want to, if you want me to get you in touch with Ryan, here you go. Invisible Condition at e360tv.com. I will pass your message along to him, and we will get you squared away, because he is on a really cool path right now, and I'm really excited for him. So all right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. And thank you for those of you that have been here for a long time, watching and enjoying what we're putting out there. Thank you. If this is your first time watching, thank you. I am so glad to see you. Keep coming back. We got more awesome stories to come. Today is our next time for Invisible Condition University. Today, August 20th, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. If you are interested in being a part, please reach out through myfreegiftfromjeff.com. myfreegiftfromjeff.com. I'm going to write that down. myfreegiftfromjeff.com. Yeah, that's it right there. If you want more information about Invisible Condition University, please reach out, and I will get you squared away. So thank you very much for being here. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, all the things, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching. And if you would like more information about Invisible Condition University, please just comment ICU or go to the website, and please join us for our next show. It's going to be amazing on Friday, August 23rd at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Until then, have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time.